Okay. The class is known as Transportation Economics and Traffic Sciences, but apart from this, we would also be discussing today a lot of study opportunities available for students who are looking to study at various topics related to science and engineering. We would be touching all those topics today, and also, we'll be taking some question and answers and clearing your doubts regarding study opportunities available in Germany. So, this is a little bit about myself. My name is Sumit Rai. I'm a father of 2 daughters, husband to a foodpreneur, German higher education expert, turned international certified career coach, and a founder of EUGateway, a boutique career advisory and higher education management company, helping students and graduates to pick right education and careers abroad. This is in short what I stand for. But then there are a lot of other things which I was a part of and I still is. I have founded a couple of companies, so you can call me serial entrepreneur. I'm an educationist and a mentor. I have probably in the last 10 years, I've mentored more than 1,000 students to pick right program or career opportunities in Europe. I'm a founder of FSFM Services, which is a owner of EUGateway, and also into market entry services for companies who want to start their businesses in India. I specialize in startups concerning market research, market entry requirements, sales and business development, business setup, operations, and marketing. And lastly, I did my MBA from Germany, from class of 2006 in international business consulting. And my expertise is into international business consulting. So whatever you're going to hear out today is coming directly from somebody who has been in Germany and have experienced the life and have delivered. Whatever I'm going to share in terms of my story, in terms of my learning, is going to be very enriching because it's directly coming from somebody who has been there and done that. Moving on. Yeah, so some rules to keep in mind for today's session. Take notes. A lot of learning will be shared, and you never know what is important for you. And so, in order not to miss that out, please make sure that you take right notes. Be respectful while communicating. Please do not put obscene questions or obscene activities or do anything which would be not appreciated by the group who has joined today. Keep your mic on mute unless you are asked to speak, and also try to engage with the community or with the speakers today so that your learning is enriched. Okay, a bit on the agenda for the evening. We will be touching upon why education in Germany, some statistics on students, what is the importance of transport and sustainability, what is relevant in terms of transport and economy. Then we will be touching also on master's program in transportation economics as a topic. And then we will have a fireside chat with the experts joining in live from Germany, followed by question and answer sessions, which you all will have an opportunity to talk, to discuss, and get your doubts clear. So moving on, let's start with the first point: why education in Germany. Well, yeah. Before that, I want all of you to do this 3-minute activity. It will only take 3 minutes. Please follow us on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Telegram, and on WhatsApp. My colleague Purav will put up a link in the chat box for all of you to join in and subscribe to our channels, because we share a lot of constant learning and information across these channels, and we don't want you to miss these out. Keep yourself abreast. So we request you to join all these important channels of EUGateway to keep yourself updated. It will only take a couple of minutes. Purav, please put in the link in the chat box so that people can subscribe to. And once you have subscribed to all these channels, make sure you put D5 in the comment box. It will help us understand that you have followed us on all these channels, and we will then quickly move on to the next slide. It will take only 3 minutes to 4 minutes for all of you to do this. And I wanted to add one more line for all those people who follow us across these across these social media channels and stay with us till the very end. They have an exciting offer from EUGateway coming at the very end, and you might win something interesting which otherwise in the market costs a lot of money, and it might just come to you for free. But the important part is that you should follow us across all these channels and could also, tag us on your Instagram story. And the winners would be announced at the end of the webinar, where our team will monitor who all have done, who all have followed us. And then I think you would get your gift. Could be announced at the end of this webinar or the next day. And for all those who would stay till the very end with us, they would also get a guide, a complete guide on English taught master's program offered by TU9 universities. This is also a very interesting freebie which we are giving today for all those who stays till the very end of this masterclass, to take an advantage of this list of these English taught master's program. And to let you know, there are around 170 English taught master's program available at TU9 universities in Germany. Okay, I see D5, only a handful of people have done it. Please type in D5 who all have followed us so that we can progress. We have last 1 minute guys left. Follow us on these channels so that we progress ahead. Come on, more D5. Put us D5 who all have followed us across these channels. It won't take more time, just a few minutes. You can do it across your channels. You can do it from your handphone. You can do it if you have logged in from your desktop. You can do it directly from desktop. Keep putting D5 so that we progress ahead. Lovely. Meghna, Neetal, Mansi, Tanuj, Karthik. Thank you, Ayush, Ankit, Venkatesh, Parth, Joel, Hetal. Thank you guys. Pranita, Aniket. So there is a live tracking which is happening, which I just said, for all those people who would be doing us, who would be following us across these channels. The winners would be announced in the end, and you would definitely be in a position to win some exciting prizes from EUGateway. And it is all related to your education and your career journey ahead. Okay, last 30 seconds, guys. And I'm moving ahead. Last 30 seconds. Come on, more D5. The one who would like to take advantage of the prizes which we will be announcing at the end of this masterclass. Thank you, Sushmita. Thank you, Hanisha. Thank you, Anushri. Wonderful. So we thank you guys for following us across these channels, and you would have an exciting journey coming ahead with EUGateway. Let's move on to our next screen. Why study in Germany? So there are a lot of reasons why people can think about studying in Germany. I am going to list around 10 of those topmost reasons, which we believe are the most important factor for students to pick Germany as a destination for their higher studies. Yeah. Germany has several top-ranked institutions across academia and student ranking. This means that you will have both fun and get the best of your academic studies. Now, there are around 10 to 15 German universities, public or private, who are ranked among the top 100 best universities and schools across these QS and Times Higher Education ranking. So this is the important aspect why a lot of people come to Germany, because most of the universities are highly ranked and highly regarded with respect to their education, with respect to their research output. Number one. Number two, education in Germany is free. And I think that is one of the most important factor which a lot of international students look at while selecting Germany as the destination. In one of the recent survey, and I have the report where where a lot of international students being questioned or being requested to provide the feedback or give the reason what is the main reason why they want to come to Germany, and 35% of the respondent has said that the free education in Germany is the deciding factor and the most attractive factor for them to come to Germany. There are around 16 states in Germany, out of which 11 of the states does not charge tuition fees, or there is a very low semester fees ranging from 300 euros to 500 euros per semester. Remaining states, they have started to levy little fees, but then largely most of the public universities remain free. Another important factor is top quality programs offered in Germany. Being in global educational top means offering students quality program, which Germany does. You will discover that professors are not only devoted to a student, but also dedicated. This is the important aspect. Researchers, a lot of professors are involved not only in teaching, but a cutting edge research in Germany, which is why Germany has the highest number of output in terms of research papers and in terms of announcing scholarships to deserving candidates, because the focus is on research. And German research is highly appreciated internationally, particularly in the fields of medicine and engineering. Another top reason for students to come to Germany, apart from free education, there are a lot of scholarships awarded by the university, by the government, by different foundations, and this also makes a very attractive option for international students to come to Germany. You can actually study for free in Germany. No tuition fees, as well as your living expenses could also be financed by either the DAAD Scholarship or Deutschlandstipendium, or there are various donor organizations who can finance your entire study and stay. The only thing which you need to check is whether your program, whether your field qualifies to get scholarship from that particular foundation. And there are, I think, close to 100 foundations in Germany who award scholarships to international students. A lot of due diligence is required in terms of finding the right scholarship for your program. And if you are able to come closer to it, yes, you actually get full scholarship where you do not pay any tuition fees. And we at EUGateway help students to come closer to this research at this point where you can actually have full scholarship available. Oops, there's one more. Okay, just few name of student scholarship by private foundation. This is Heinrich Böll Foundation, Konrad Adenauer Stiftung Scholarship, and Bayer Foundation. Out of many, we just selected 3 to let you know what kind of foundations are there apart from DAAD scholarships and private universities. So you can see your possibility of applying to various scholarships in Germany. Another factor is affordable living. Well, if you compare to Europe, Germany is not that expensive, rather not that cheap either. An average cost of 700 to 800 euros per month is what you need to spend for your living cost in Germany. This is slightly so if you go to East European countries or to Scandinavian countries, possibly you have a little less cost. But if you compare the cost of Germany to UK, to France, to Paris, I think the cost in Germany is cheaper as compared to these other top destinations in Europe. So that's why you can see a range between 700 to 1,000 euros. Another important aspect which you need to keep in mind is if you stay in outskirts of the city, or if you are doing your study and program in a smaller city, the cost of living is less as compared to if you live in Frankfurt, Berlin, Munich, Hamburg. These are expensive cities, and as a student you would spend somewhere around 800 to 900 euros, whereas in comparison to smaller cities, I think you would be well off spending around 600 to 700 euros. And we Indians, I think, would be able to manage an even lesser price. When I was in Germany in 2004-5, I managed in between 350 to 400 euros per month, because I stayed in a small town in Black Forest where my university was, and I was able to manage well within 350 to 400 euros. But I'm talking around 15 years back. The rates in Germany, the inflation rates have been stable in Germany. I think if you still get to these cities where I stayed, I think you would be able to manage your cost well within 500 to 600 euros. Although the government stipulated or prescribed expenses is more than 850 euros, which you actually put in block account towards 1 year of your living expenses. Okay, now we move on to next slide. Higher employment chances. The percentage of people employed in Germany is about 74. The country ranks 6 out of 38 countries in Europe. So this is again an important factor. Germany is a powerhouse of entire Europe. It drives European economy, and there are a lot of jobs available for qualified students. The most important factor which you should keep in mind is while applying for a job, while you are admiring for a particular job, is the consistency in your academic or professional life. If you are able to establish that consistency in your academic and professional life, I think you will get yourself a decent job in Germany based on your studies. And this is why when I write this here, that 3 out of 4 people in Germany lands a job post 3 months of completing their studies. Some student statistics for you to have a look. International student data. This is from 2019 as the latest. If you have an idea, there are around mostly two intakes in Germany: winter semester intake and summer semester intake. The most famous is a winter semester intake, which means you have large offering of programs, and most people would apply to this winter semester intake as compared to summer semester. And the statistics for 2018-19 speaks that there were around 400 international students studying across various universities in Germany. The number of Indian students would come in a bit. Yeah, so international students numbers in Germany have experienced approximately 31% increase in the matter of past 5 years, from 2014 to 2019. You can see the interest, why this interest has built. I have already spoken to few points regarding the attractiveness for international student with regards to Germany as a study place. And that's what you see in these figures: 31% increase from 2014 to 2019 in student enrollment. From India, for 2019, the data stands around 20,500. This is the official data which we received from the statistics office. There in 2019, there were around 20,500 Indian students enrolled across various universities. Yeah, and between 2016 and 17, Indians at German universities had the largest growth, which is 16%. I think this is not bad as compared to when you have tough competition from countries like US, Australia, and Canada, where you do not face language as a barrier for this for your study purpose. Where Germany, you actually need to learn a new language. International students from India in Germany have increased by 18.8% from 2018 to 19, which is just the stats which I have mentioned right now. Moving to next slide. As of 2019, around 37% of international students are enrolled in a bachelor's degree course. Around equivalent are enrolled in a master's degree program. 9% of it is PhD program. Mind yourself that PhD program are not easy to get into in Germany. because of the various application and eligibility requirement. And there is a different structure for PhD program, which probably I would touch during the question and answer session today. And for those who are attending this session for a PhD learning, they will get the queries answered there. 6.8% students are for other degrees, and 8.6 are non-degree courses. Okay, now moving on to the next slide. These are the two guest speakers for the evening, Professor Regine Gerike and Dr. George Hirte. I'm going to briefly introduce Professor Gerike and Dr. Hirte for the evening, and then we can pass on the session to Professor Gerike first, and then we will follow it up with Professor Hirte. Professor Gerike, are you online? Have you joined the session?
Yes, can you hear me well?
Perfect, perfect. Professor Gerike is there. I can see her. Excellent. Thanks for joining in, Professor Gerike. It's a pleasure to have you with us. For students.
Yeah, great. It's my pleasure to be here.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm going to, just for the sake of our audience, briefly introduce Professor Gerike. Professor Gerike is the head of chair of integrated transport planning and traffic engineering at Technical University of Dresden. Before joining TU Dresden, Professor Gerike chaired the Institute for Transport Studies at the University of Natural Resources and Life Sciences in Vienna. And Professor Gerike also holds PhD from TU Dresden in the field of modeling transport and environmental effects. From 2008 to 2012, Professor Gerike was an assistant professor at Technical University of Munich and also the head of Research Center Mobility at Transport Mobile TUM. Professor Gerike has interest in various aspects of transport planning, safety, traffic engineering, including modeling, empirical research, and holistic approaches to evaluating sustainable mobility. This is in short about Professor Gerike. She has a lot more in her profile, but I cannot cover everything. But this is the most important, and that really makes me feel happy to welcome once again Professor Gerike. Over to you. Please, you can start with the session. Professor Gerike.
Okay, so can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Great. So welcome everybody, also from my side. It's my pleasure to be here, and thank you for the kind introduction. So I'm a researcher in transport, and in the next minutes, it is my pleasure to tell you something about transport and sustainability and transport and why it might be interesting to study all these things. So when you look at this first slide, then you have these pictures on the bottom part of the slide. So you see a train, a motorway, a car, a drone, a tram, electric infrastructure, bikes, some kind of navigation and aircraft. And then you say, okay, we know all this. So we have used trains. We frequently, I don't know how you move, but I know that we all have about 3 trips per day, whatever transport mode we use. Yeah. So, you know, so you might say, okay, I know all this. So why to study this? And the difference is what you do when you study transport, then you learn the tools, how to shape all these things. So you all and we all who we are here in the room this evening, we are expert in using all these things. So we know how to drive a car, how to buy a ticket for a train or a ticket for flying to holiday or for business trip. But what you learn with us is how to develop a timetable, how to design networks for trains and for public transport systems, how to design infrastructure, safe infrastructure for pedestrians and cyclists. So you change the perspective from just using the transport systems that are around us to shaping these. And in the next minutes, I'd like to talk about exactly these things, the transport systems. I would like to start talking about the relevance of transport for society, then about challenges that we face and opportunities that we see, about solutions that we know, sustainability as one vision that we frequently use and that is of high relevance also for transport. And then, of course, I finish with the invitation to study all this and to learn more about this. So the relevance of transport. On the macroeconomic level, transport is a major driver for employment, income, and economic development. So successful societies worldwide have efficient transport systems. So this is clearly and empirically shown and proven. And you can translate this down to the microeconomic level, down to particular households or companies, different stakeholders. And also on this level, transport is highly significant and important as a component of our costs in producing, consuming, and distributing goods and services. And then, of course, we have the social dimension, so transport and accessibility. So can we go to the destinations where we want to go are a prerequisite for participation in societal life. So when you are really small, when you are a baby, and then you learn how to walk, this is really an important step, and this holds until the end of life. So it is really important for the seniors in society that they are able to walk outside and to go to the destinations they want to go. This is a prerequisite for participating in social life, for communicating, for being part of this society. And then we have the environmental dimension that is also very important. Transport is a major emitter of air pollutants, noise, greenhouse gas emissions. So transport is a major part of environmental problems that we have in general and particularly in urban transport. So why urban transport is particularly relevant. So the share of urban population worldwide is high and constantly growing. So I have put here the numbers from 1980, 39%, and then 2015, 54%, and 2050, the forecast, 66%. So today, already more than half of the population worldwide lives in urban areas, and this share is constantly growing. And I have put here two figures where urbanization happens and cities with the highest growth rate. And you see India is really present here in both these lists. So where urbanization happens, you have India here, and you have amongst the cities with the highest growth rate, also India. And in addition, challenges and opportunities are most present in cities. So we have the biggest challenges because of the densities. We have the highest levels of air pollution and all these environmental problems. And we have also the best opportunities because of these densities. You can have efficient public transport, particularly in cities and urban areas. So these are really interesting parts of the transport systems to look at urban transport systems. So this is an overview of the challenges we face. So it's a challenge how to provide access to relevant destinations for all persons in all regions, of all levels of education, income, also for future generations. Safety is an issue, environmental effects, I have touched on this, space scarcities, particularly in cities. So we are never able to accommodate all the user needs that we should accommodate in urban road space. And limited financial resources is an issue, and insufficient personnel capacity in the relevant institutions. So this is what we find in our research, that personnel capacity is one major successful also for successful transport development. So experts are really needed in this field. Let's have a closer look at two of the challenges. So this is first safety. So I've put here the number of road deaths. This is the y-axis. And on the x-axis here in the horizontal direction, you have the years starting from 2000 to 2016. And then you see the road deaths in thousands as absolute numbers, and you see these in the different regions. So you see the absolute levels and you see the development over time. And what you see is that we have some regions in the world where these numbers of road deaths are quite stable. So this is America, Eastern Mediterranean, Europe. Then we have Western Pacific with declining numbers, and then we have Southeast Asia with the highest numbers and the highest growth rate in safety problems. And these are only road deaths, so not the severe injuries or light injuries. These come on top. And one main driver behind these growing numbers of road deaths is, of course, growing motorization and motorized transport in these countries. And it is one task to be done to improve safety while at the same time allowing for growth in transport. The good news is that we have the solutions already. We know some of them. So what I show you here is a great transport evolution cycle that we developed in one of our research projects. So what you see here again on the x-axis is a time development cycle. So you might think again of this is the 1970s here in the beginning maybe, and this is today at the end. And then we have two y-axis here. So the left one is daily car use. So the number of trips per capita in these urban areas that we looked at here. And you see that we have a peak car effect here. So in the beginning, let's define this as the 17th in the last century. Car use was increasing, and then you have a peak, and then it was declining. So this means that the cities that we looked at, and these were cities in Europe, it was a European project, was Paris, Berlin, Copenhagen, Vienna, and London. So this means that these cities succeeded in reducing car use and traveled car distances, even though people got richer, people got the same number or even a higher number of cars, people got better educated. So lots of factors that should normally drive car use happened in these cities, but still car use was reduced. And one reason behind this is that the policy focus changed over time. So we have found also a peak car effect in transport policy in these cities. And what have they done? So we have some established instruments that we know that help to manage all the problems we have in transportation and to get better transport systems. So for instance, the coordination of transport planning and urban planning is really important. You have here on the right-hand side, this Copenhagen finger plan, where we have focused urban planning along railway lines and nowhere else. And this helps, of course, to get environmentally friendly travel patterns then also. We know that we need push and pull measures. So we need always a combination of measures to support the transport modes that we want to support, walking, cycling, public transport. And we need push measures, restrictive measures for the transport modes that we want to reduce. Yeah? For instance, parking fees for cars. And then we have some innovative approaches that we develop and that are increasingly used in cities. These are digital services providing information, access to mobility services, including payment, access to these services, information about these services. It was never as easy as today to provide information to users, and this allows for innovative, flexible, new mobility services. We can work with ITS solutions, intelligent transport services for traffic management, for making traffic smoother, for increasing traffic quality and also safety. We have these automated transport increasingly coming up, sharing services, new vehicles, alternative drive technology, some pictures you find on this slide. And what we found in our research is that cities make use of these opportunities in really various different ways. So we have here different transport policy foci that we have found. So the city as a node, 24/7 city, or city as a place with high quality in urban spaces as a focus, or city as a service with high public transport quality in the focus. And you see over time, our cities, we have here Berlin, London, and Vienna, set these foci differently. So we have a lot of flexibility, but we need this combination of the different established and new instruments to achieve this reduction in car use and to achieve improvements in transport. One vision that we commonly use in these contexts is the concept of sustainable development. And you all know this because it's quite visible and present in lots of policy contexts. So it is defined as a development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So human beings are in the focus of this concept of sustainable developments, human beings in all regions today and in all generations. So today and also from future generations. And translated to transport, this means that our task is to meet mobility needs and to provide access while limiting the negative effects of transport in order to provide also future generations with the opportunity to meet their mobility needs. And we have these sustainable development goals. So all member states of the United Nations approved these in 2015. And the time horizon for these SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, is 2030. And when you look at these 17 goals, then you see that lots of them have relevance for transport or vice versa. Transport is one important factor, driving factor, or also barrier for various of these 17 goals. So I have copied here some of them in detail, some of the indicators behind this goal in order to show you the relevance of transport for meeting the goal of sustainable development. When we only look at the first one, by 2020, half the number of global deaths and injuries from road traffic accidents. So this is really an ambitious goal when you remember the slide that we have even growing number of road deaths today in some regions worldwide. So to sum it up, relevance of transport, urban transport, and sustainability, I hope that I succeeded in showing you that transport is key to successful societies and economies. We have major challenges and opportunities in transport. You are warmly invited to come to Dresden to get to know the tools that we have for shaping future transport systems and to advance these tools to make them better together with us in research and in teaching for road, rail, air, and water, for all the different parts of the transport systems, passenger and freight, infrastructure, vehicles, their operation, and so much more. Thank you for your attention.
Perfect. Thank you, Professor Gerike, for your insights in the topic of transport and sustainability. I think we have created a very nice little base around this topic from our previous webinar, and we have built over it. A lot of students who were not able to attend last time are here today to check on more understanding and relevance. And after the first masterclass where you presented this this topic, I got a lot of inquiries and information and requests regarding the program which we are offering and how it will be beneficial for them to take it up as a career. Not only that, we also have requests from some journalists who would like to cover this topic in media in India, and very shortly, I think some information would be published around urban mobility and transportation. And I think this would also give a lot of understanding to large audience to understand about this topic and then participate as a possible career. So thank you so much once again, Professor Gerike, for presenting these facts. And I'm sure the students who were looking forward to participate with us in this program would be even more excited now to know that what this program and sustainability in the end all entails too. So I think this has been wonderful. Thank you so much, Professor Gerike, and we will be collecting questions and directing it to you shortly as well. Since your time is short, we have already announced the questions to be taken in the end, and then we will pass it on to you. And for any relevant question, you would have it in your email, and would be very happy to receive responses from you.
Yeah, I will be pleased to do this.
Pleasure is all ours. Thank you so much. All right, so we just say thanks to Professor Gerike. I hope you put an understanding with respect to this program. And for whatever questions you have, just put in the chat box, and we will take it up at the end. And or this question could be directed to Professor Gerike as well. Now, moving on to the next session. Now we have with us Professor George Hirte, who would be taking us through shortly regarding transportation and economics. What is the relevance of economics and transportation, and what is the program being offered at TU Dresden, which is Masters in Transportation Economics. A short introduction, and then we move ahead with Professor Hirte's presentation. Professor Hirte has been with us over the past master classes. So for those who have attended our previous class, would already know about Professor Hirte. For those who doesn't know, let me quickly introduce Professor Hirte for you, and then we can pass on the screen to Professor Hirte to present it. Okay. Professor Hirte is a Dean for Study Fields at Transportation Economics. He's a Managing Director of the Institute of Transport Economics since 2015, and also a full-time professor in transport policy, spatial economics at TU Dresden, and since 2013, a full-time professor of economics, macroeconomics, and spatial economics at regional science at TU Dresden. Besides, Professor Hirte has also published several research papers in the field of economics and transportation, and has also published several books in this field. So once again, without wasting much of the time, I welcome Professor Hirte to the session, and looking forward to your insights, Professor Hirte.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, welcome. You already got a very good introduction on urban transport by Regine Gerike. I cannot add much, but I only want to add one important issue in my point of view. This is the question how economists think about cities and transport. The first idea is that cities are places where we are living, where we are working, where we are meeting people, where we buy, exchange and use goods and services, where firms produce, sell and buy, and all this at different locations. And this leads to the main issues that space is important. It is scarce, has heterogeneous quality, and there are transport costs. Anytime we want to do something in a city, we need to use transport, and therefore transport costs are important and transport issues matters. And further, cities are places where firms can exploit so-called positive agglomeration effects that are coming from the diversity of skills and activities in the city, from proximity to others or to other firms, and from access to markets, to research institutions, and the exchange of knowledge. And this implies that we need transport and communication infrastructure and public services that allows us to generate these positive effects in cities. Again, transport is relevant, but not only for transport itself, but for the whole working of a city and the economy. And then we have the problem that transport is related to negative agglomeration effects. And we have some issues to solve. This is the scarcity of land, that we have bad quality of public and health services. We have bad quality of transport and communication systems very often. In addition, transport is related to the overuse of transport infrastructure. You observe congestion, you observe noise, pollution, greenhouse gas emissions, accidents, and in addition, sprawl of cities that is also related to the possibility or the need of transport. So transport has positive effects on the city and economy in our lives, and also negative effects. And this is what transportation economics is about. It studies the relevance of transport for the society and city, the social costs of transport, and the economic consequences of transport, investment, and pricing also, and regulation. And these are the instruments that are needed to solve transport-related issues. And thereby we have to consider the trade-offs between the environment, health issues, land markets, labor markets, and the transport system. It further says that transport economists studies the way firms organize themselves. These are mainly logistics problems, the distribution of production networks, and the transport of intermediates and goods from and to the markets. And the question how transportation economists study all this field, it has something to do with economic theory, with empirical and simulation methods, and of course with the use of many different kinds of data. And so I'm coming to the program we offer. We offer exactly a program that allows you to study these challenges for mobility from a transportation economics point of view. And these challenges is the technological development we observe, the business models, sharing platforms, mobility as a service, logistics, data we have an increasing availability of a huge amount of diverse data today. And of course, issues that concern the society, like sustainability and environmental issues Regine Gerike told you about. And we exactly offer at Dresden the scientific methods and tools you need for understanding, processing, and solving these challenges. And in addition, we offer you to acquire soft skills that you need to successfully work and make career in firms and institutions that are working on solving these challenges. And how we do this? We have a program, a 2-year program, which offers a degree of a Master of Science. We expect about 30 students from Germany and, of course, from many countries. The language will be English, and we have a very small tuition fee, which is more an administration fee, and that includes public transport in Saxony. The courses you will see are at least 1 year at Dresden, and you can also go abroad. And this course is already accredited within the German national accreditation system. You will find more on these links here, and you can also contact me to ask questions concerning application and whatever you want to know. The program has the following structure. In the first term, we offer you obligatory courses, giving you a basic methodology that you need for the following fields or following terms. And then in the second term, you have to specialize in 2 fields in transportation economics. And in addition, you can add other modules from economics, business administration, engineering, to qualify you in more detail in the fields you are interested in. The third term is a so-called mobility window. There you have to write a research task or research thesis in one of the specialization fields that you can do at TU Dresden or at another university or at another place. And you can add modules either at Dresden or at another university, other courses, or instead of other courses, you can also go to opt for performing a vocational internship in Germany or other countries in a firm. In the last term, you write your master thesis, which is usually also linked to one of your specialization fields. The first year you must be in Dresden, and the second year you can stay in Dresden, but you can also go abroad, because here you have the mobility window. In the master thesis you can also write at a place you want, but you have to communicate with us from time to time. The specialization groups we offer you are the computational logistics. There you work with mathematical models in operations research or linear programming to solve issues that are related to logistic problems of firms and to problems of public transports services. Then we have transportation policy. We use microeconomics to evaluate policy intervention in transport, including cost-benefit analysis of infrastructure investment or regulation and transport taxes to steer the transport field. And then we have spatial and environmental economics, where we use microeconomics, econometrics, and simulations to study the link between the transport system, the environment, and the spatial economy, as I already explained you in the example of urban economics. Then we offer you statistics. It is on multivariate statistics and also data-driven statistics, which is used to exploit data to study again transport-related phenomena. And finally, we offer you data analytics in transport, which is more computational oriented. You apply computational methods to understand data and solve also complex transport-related decision problems. If you're interested in more in business, you can choose the first one and the last one. If you're more interested in society and economics, you can choose the third and the second and the third one. And if you are more interested in data analytics, you can choose the last two. So it's your decision then in which kind of field you want to specialize. We have an aptitude procedure. For that, you need first a graduation, a bachelor in one of the following fields: economics, business, statistics, transport sciences, mathematics, information technology, natural sciences, or engineering. At the date of your application, you have to finish at least 80% of your current program. But for that, you need a certified letter from your university. Then you need good English knowledge. You need at least a B2 European system level. You can also offer IELTS or TOEFL. And if your bachelor was an English program, you also accept this. Then you need 60 credits in total in your bachelor in economics, business, and quantitative methods. It is between 5 in business, at least 5 in business, at least 10 in economics, and at least 15 in quantitative methods. Okay, if you have studied and got your degree, then the question you always ask is, what about the labor market? At least currently, and for the last 10 years, I say we had a very strong demand in the labor market for our students. And our students work in many of these firms you see here, in public institutions, research institutes, railway firms, car producers, airports, logistics firms, IT services, energy firms, and in consulting firms. So if you're coming from abroad, you can also work. It is clear you can have all the chances to work in those firms all over in the world. Our students work as economists, senior researchers, professors, business executive, consultants, data scientists. So you see you have a huge field in front of you where you can work at. Finally, the application, you have to apply via UniAssist. I have already seen in the chat, there's somebody who knows someone who had successfully applied via UniAssist. And in addition to this online application, you have also to send a printout of your application form to UniAssist. And here you have to know that we need certified documents from you to apply. The deadline is the last day of May, and the decision letter you get not at the end of August, you get it earlier, I would say mid or end of July. Okay, let's say we are looking for you if you are determined to master these quantitative and economic methods with the aim to understand and solve transport-related issue, if you're open-minded and able to work independently, because we demand from you very independent work. And finally, if you're interested in working in a team of international students. Okay, so that's it. And yeah, it would be great if you apply and if you see us in autumn. Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Professor Hirte. As always, your immense knowledge and talk on this topic has really encouraged people to apply. And I can vouch that applications from our previous master classes than today has certainly increased, and people are moving ahead to make applications to this wonderful program. And the talk presented by you again gives them a lot of insight in terms of preparation, in terms of program, and how they should move ahead with the application procedure. So thank you so much. And Professor Hirte, if you would have some minutes, we can take questions directly, because one of our speakers would not make it last minute due to some emergency, and I would request if you can spare a few minutes
Yes.
with us today still, so that participants can ask some questions and we can address them together. Dear students, since one of our speaker from TU Dresden could not make it last minute because of an emergency, we will have some questions ready for Professor Hirte. We can also ask on behalf of you, and we also invite you to ask direct questions as well. Put them in the chat so that along with Professor Hirte, we can address them. This is a short window for Q&A with regards to topic related to master's program in transportation economics, life in Dresden, topics about TU Dresden as a university. This is the order which we would like to follow, followed by general question and answers, which I will address with you in few minutes from now. So all those questions could be hold for a little later, so that we can then address them at the end. Thank you for your patience. So now, and over to question and answers now. Okay. So Hanisha is asking, is this course in alignment to electronics and electronics branch? Professor Hirte.
Yeah, what do you mean with that? It is not in electronics, it is in economics and transportation. So I don't understand your question.
Anisha, yeah, so this is a transportation economics program. If you are coming from electronics background, civil or electronics engineering background, if you have, and if you meet the subjects requirement which we have with respect to economics, management, econometrics, statistics, mathematics, then yes, you have a possibility to apply to this particular program. But if if you do not have these subjects, then unfortunately, this program might not be suitable for you.
Okay, then there's a question concerning the language.
Yeah. So Joel,
German learning is very good. Yeah, there are two reasons. First is the labor market, because if you want to work afterwards in Germany, you need, in most jobs, you need to speak German. And the second one, if you learn German, you are able to choose also from a basket from courses from other fields that are presented in German. Okay, then there's a question concerning what to do after this program. It depends on you. You can apply in the labor market. I can tell you at least that all our students got a job very fast. Many of them started to work already during their studying. And of course, whether you apply in Germany or other place, it's your point, your decision. But I'm quite sure that you will have good chances. I've shown you what is the field in Germany, but of course you can also apply outside of Germany.
Yes, there's another question from Professor Joshi asking that can the final year economics student apply for this program? I
Yes.
think yes.
Yes, of course.
Okay, Prof Jyot, we will address this where to get master's courses related to mechanical engineering. Prof Jyot, if you stay till then, we will share the guide for the English taught master's program taught across the 9 universities. Now we have Meghna, what is the percentage of acceptance in the public universities? Okay, this is a general question. Professor, would you have any thought on this?
I cannot tell you. We had the program in German before. We always had some students from abroad.
Yeah.
But I cannot tell you anything about this program because I, at the moment, don't know who will apply. I have seen we have application from South America. We already have application from India, so I cannot tell you. It depends on the number of applicants. What is the percentage of acceptance?
So MJ is asking what is the scope of PhD after this master's?
We don't have our PhD programs that is built on the master, but of course, if you are good enough, you can apply for a PhD place in a PhD program in Germany, or you can apply at a chair at our university or in our institute for getting a job as a PhD student. Yeah, most of our PhD students have a job at university and they are teaching in addition.
Okay. Venkatesh is asking what is the acceptance rate at TU Dresden particularly?
As I told you, I cannot say because it depends on the number of applicants. So you can think about, we have 30 places for all applicants. So if we have 300, then the acceptance rate is 10%. If we are only 30, the acceptance rate is 100% maybe. So it really depends. I cannot say it.
Okay. So, okay. The Parth is asking, my graduation result will be announced in the month of July. Will it be possible for me to apply? I think Parth, you can apply. We are accepting the application for the final year students. And
yes.
yeah.
You need 80%. You have to finish you need 80% of your bachelor at the moment you apply, but you need some kind of document on that. Your university have to write a letter certifying you that you already have achieved 80% of your current program. And then the grade is calculated according to this 80% by UniAssist.
So there is one question by Professor Joshi. He's asking, UniAssist says case-by-case decision in evaluation. What does that mean? Because Professor Joshi's son has applied to the program and he has received a decision from UniAssist stating that it's a case-by-case evaluation.
Yes, we have a committee and we get this application after UniAssist had looked at the documents and accepted the documents. Mm-hmm. And then we have the basket of people who apply and we look through each of them whether they fulfill our criteria, this aptitude criteria. And if you fulfill it, then we have a basket of people from which we choose in the end. Right.
So,
and the main criteria is the grade you have. And in addition, we look at your motivation or your CV.
Yeah. So Professor Joshi's son is in final year of his economics program, and he has applied already 6 weeks back, and he has received a response from UniAssist based on what he is asking case by case decision.
Yes.
Okay.
So we should get it, and then we make a decision. I think until the end of June, you have the result.
Perfect.
Then there's
For
a question, are
yeah.
public universities better for international students compared to private? We don't have much private universities in Germany. In Germany, we have a more public university system. And I would say the better universities usually in Germany are the public universities. So that's very different to other countries.
Yes, I kind of concur what Professor Hirte says. Germany is actually have large number of public universities over private. Private are handful and mostly focus on management and related courses, with a very handful of universities offering engineering programs. So yes, between a decision, if you qualify, then you can obviously come to public universities. That should be your first choice.
Okay, is there anything about vehicle manufacturing in this program? No, we don't have, but you can attend courses if you like, but for that you need German. These are only taught in German.
Okay, one student says he only has 65% in bachelor's. So am I not eligible?
No, you need 80%.
No, 65% in his graduation score as his grades.
Also, it's great.
Yeah, 2.7 or 8 on scale.
So we don't have a fixed grade you need to achieve. It depends on the competition. It depends on the others. So I cannot say anything about that.
For Hanisha, the prerequisites to apply for this course, I think it's already mentioned during Professor Hirte's presentation that you need a required amount of economics, econometrics, quantitative methods, mathematics, statistics as 1 or 2 subjects which you should have studied normally during your graduation. These are the important topics which you should have covered. More Professor Hirte can tell.
Yeah. The issue of most of you who are studying engineering or some kind of that is that you often don't have courses in economics or business administration. But we need it because we are going to microeconomic theory and you need some basic in economics. And you need not much. Yeah, you need 2 courses in economics, 1 in business administration. Business, you almost all have this business if you have something with management, but economics is really a problem. Maybe you have to look at, if you want to apply and you don't have economics, you have to do economic courses. It maybe apply next year.
Yeah. So Parth is asking, will there be any preference given to candidates with research background, published research paper and granted patents, and 2 to 3 years of work experience for this particular program?
Yeah, it is relevant, but our first look is at the grade because we have defined that in the program. But in addition, we are looking at additional work you did and look at your CV.
Joel, just to make it clear, with 65% at the moment, you have a possibility to apply, and the committee will take a decision with respect to your overall qualification. And if you fits in, yes, you might have a chance to get an admit at this program. Yeah, at the moment, 65% is not a criteria or a threshold where a decision could be made.
Yeah.
Farah, with 7.5 grade, yes, you have a threshold to apply. With 7.5 grade out of 10 CGPA, this is okay, and you can move ahead with your application. Yeah, I think that's where. All right,
Okay.
so I think any more questions on this topic? Okay. Hanisha asking, does research paper hold any significance if you already have good grades?
Yeah, if you have more people with good grades, then this will matter.
Yeah. So yes, if you have a paper in pipeline, go ahead and publish it. It will only add to your profile.
Yeah.
Excellent. More questions? We will have last 5 minutes from Professor Hirte. If you don't have any more questions. Okay. Erasmus Mundus and normal master's program. But so I can answer that. So Erasmus Mundus is basically an exchange semester programs, which is meant for international student mobility as compared to normal master's program. If you enroll for this Erasmus Masters, you spend 6 months or a year at one particular university and then move on to next university and then to third university before you complete your master's program. A normal master's program is you're going to have your parent university, and that's where you're going to spend your entire year semester, of course with the possibility of exchange semester with other universities, but largely the awarding degree would be from the parent university. So this is normal and the other is Erasmus program. This is the difference which I could say. Shubham, there are around 17 English taught master's program at TU Dresden, all in the field of life sciences and non-life sciences, excluding management programs. And you can definitely look forward to apply to other programs as well at TU Dresden apart from transportation economics. Okay. Is any work experience required?
No.
No work experience. A consecutive master is okay. You don't need a work experience for this program. Okay, MJ, we have a master's degree. So MJ is asking if we have a bachelor's and master's degree, which one's grade will be given more preference? I'm currently pursuing my first year of master's in transportation engineering and management with SGPA of 8.3.
Good question. Usually the finished degree is relevant.
Yeah, the bachelor's degree grades would hold more value, MJ, as compared to your master's degree on transportation engineering.
So if the master is not finished, then it is not so important. But of course, if you have similar degrees to others, we will look at it.
Okay. Is there planning to apply next year? Yes, once you finish with your degree, I think MJ, you would be a candidate to apply for this program.
That's good next year, because then you can look what we require from you.
Yeah.
And then you can see whether you need one additional course or whatever.
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Joshi, we will pass on you my number and we can have a short call as well after the presentation is over. Shubham, the current application is going on and 31st of May is the deadline for the winter intake. And this is relevant across most of the public universities for students who are applying from non-EU countries for the winter intake. For any course in TU Dresden, how can we know if work experience is required? You need to go through the application process of individual programs, Anisha, and then you can know whether the work experience is required for this particular program or not.
Okay, again, a question concerning language. You don't need a German language qualification. It is good if you have it, but you don't need it. But you need English in English level B2, which you can either show us by some of these tests of TOEFL or whatever, or you can look at, or if you have an English taught bachelor's program or master program, then it's also accepted. So we look at only at your English qualification or English level. Perfect.
Last question concerning master's program in transportation economics. We need to let our professor go. We are running out of time. Farah, we'll take, okay, I will take it up one-on-one on German language course. That's okay. Perfect. Oh, how much salary can we expect after this master's?
It depends on the job and on the country where you go.
Yeah.
at least 40,000 euro, but
Yeah.
or 45,000 euro. But if you go to another country where the living costs are lower, then it might be less.
Might be less, yes.
But your quality of life might be the same.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. I
Okay.
think on this master's program in economics, we have taken most of the questions which has been asked in the chat box. We will shortly open the window for general question and answers related to any topic you would like to know about Germany, about master's or bachelor's program and opportunities. I will be taking up those questions with you, and I would say thank you once again to Professor Hirte for spending time with us on Wednesday evening and taking us through to this master's program, transportation economics, and the opportunities available for a lot of students from India and otherwise as well. So thank you, Professor Hirte, and I leave you the closing notes for today's session.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for having the opportunity to meet you all. Goodbye.
Right. Thank you so much, Professor Hirte. Guys, you can say thank you to Professor Hirte in the chat box, and then we will let Professor Hirte leave, and we can continue with our question and answers, which are more generalistic in nature. Great. Thank you. I'm putting my screen back just for a second so that you know that we are discussing again some things related to your okay, now where do we go? Play from the start. Okay, no, from here. Okay. Yes, a little bit on how EUGateway can help you. We already discussed about the opportunity for master's program in transportation economics offered by TU Dresden. We are there helping you, guiding you through to apply to this particular program as a partner for TU Dresden in India. But we are also there for you to apply to any master's program, MBA program, bachelor's program, PhD program. If you need our assistance in terms of selecting the universities, to making documents, to making applications, to admissions, to visas, EUGateway is there and will support you at every step. You can vouch on us. We've been in the market for many years, and we can certainly help you through with all the process with respect to application to Germany or to European countries. Just a name of master's program admission guidance. We have this 2-year mentorship program for undergraduate studies, where students right at the level of school, 11th and 12th, can enroll with us, and then they get an exclusive guide and a mentor for their next 2 years if they are eyeing for Ivy League or top universities across US, Australia, Canada, or Europe. And then a profile building helps, starts with them, and then by the time they are ready to apply for the schools abroad, they are ready with all the necessary tools they need to apply. We also have, so we had some questions on the PhD application as well. We have an entire PhD application program package. This is not common that everybody can help you through, but we have designed our application package for PhD program. Generally takes around 9 months to a year, where we can help you find a right PhD opportunity and bring you to the level where you have an opportunity to study either a paid PhD program or a non-paid, non-structured PhD program, which is actually fully funded programs, which are fully funded programs. Yeah, then we have an MBA application program. We also take care about top FT ranked MBA applications in Europe or in US, and you can register for this program with us, and for between a period of 6 to 9 months, you would have a qualified MBA program available for you based on your eligibility. This is a little important for a lot of students, where you have your grades, which is between 60 to 70%. It's so 70% is minimum what is required by public universities in Germany, but then there are certain universities which accept slightly lower grades in the range of 2.6 to 2.9, and we can certainly help you identify those particular universities as well and increase your chances of acceptance if the application profile is made well. So for people who have slightly less undergrad score can definitely enroll themselves for this master's program admission guidance, and we will make sure that we get you those particular universities which will help you to attain the admission at a slightly lower grading level. Okay, that's where I stop. Now let's move into question and answers. Right away, start putting it in your chat, and then I would be happy to address more questions, more generalist questions which you would have for the evening. Right, Prabjot has asked about master's program in mechanical engineering public universities. Prabjot, at the end of this master class, I will share the list of the 170 English taught master's program across TU9 universities, and for sure you would find some programs in mechanical engineering as well. Just to let you know, University of Stuttgart has a master's program in mechanical engineering, which is totally taught in English. And there are certain other TU9, including RWTH Aachen, who offer the master's program in mechanical engineering as well. Shubham is asking, since there has been a large number of growth of Indian students in German university, is it possible that universities now will be strict with giving admissions to international students? No, Shubham, this is not the case. Generally, in German public universities, you would always see restricted admissions and admission free. So which NC and NC free, which basically means when you have a restricted admission, regardless of number of students applying, they only have those limited number of seats which they offer, and within that number of seats they would only have a limited percentage which will be offered to international students. So that does not impact if you apply to restricted admissions. But on the other hand, if you apply to non-restricted admissions, I don't think so that increased number of international students application will hinder the admission process and would result in large number of rejections. If you are qualified, you will get an admission regardless of the number of applications a particular program is receiving if they are in non-NC free category. Hanisha, Purav can put in my link and contact details, and you can write me an email and we can schedule a short call, and I can help you through with whatever queries you have, and we can take it from there. Purav, you can put my email ID and contact details for people who would like to speak to me one-on-one. Aniket Rana, there are automobile engineering program in English language. As I said, I will share the list for this English taught master's program, and you can find your automobile engineering. Just to let you know, TH Ingolstadt has it, Esslingen University of Applied Sciences has it, TUM has it, RWTH Aachen has it, and few other programs as well, from few other universities as well offering engineering, automobile engineering program in English. I want to do MS related to electric and electronics engineering. Yes, Hanisha, I will guide you through. There are a lot of programs which has been offered in electronics and electrical engineering, and they are also offered in combination with IT and a lot of other programs. We will be very happy to guide you through. Parth, 31st of May is the last date to apply for winter intake this year, Parth, for the Transportation Economics Masters and for all other master's program offered by various public universities in Germany. Joel is asking, I'm already doing German language course, but sir told English certificate is mandatory. Joel, you are learning German language. It is fantastic. It is very good. English language certificate, if you have it, it's great. If you don't have it, and if you have your bachelor's degree in English language, your English language certificate requirement will be waived off. Don't worry, it is no disappointment. If you have your bachelor's in English language, your TOEFL or IELTS language requirement would be waived off. Can we do MBA right after a bachelor's? Not a good idea, Hanisha. MBA is never a good idea right after a bachelor's. MBA is actually made for students who have a couple of years of experience in industry and then want to move up to the ladder for senior level positions. Right after bachelor, it is always advisable to do a master's degree where you can acquire a specific skill set, a knowledge, a skill which will stick with you for your entire life. And you can call yourself a master of some topic, which then the industry can look at you and can employ you. So no, not a good idea to do MBA. And secondly, to do an MBA, you need minimum 2 to 3 years of work experience. Okay, MJ says, just wanted to clarify, is it difficult or does it reduce my chances of getting an admission for masters in Germany if I already have one master's from India? Not really, MJ, because the admission to the master's degree in Germany is based on your first bachelor's degree. This is the criteria which most of the public university undertake. But when you already have first masters and you apply for another masters, it will be considered as second masters in Germany. And I don't think so that would be an issue or criteria for you to get an admit to public universities in Germany. Okay, so please tell about master's program in computer science in public university, and also does German language is required or not, or only IELTS is required? KZ, there are good master's program available in computer science. Make sure you have minimum 70% and above in this field, because this is a highly competitive field and admissions to international students sometimes gets very restricted. Good universities among TU9 group also offering master's program in computer science. And in a short while from now, I will share that link for you to have this guide where you can find these master's program yourself. Regarding the German language, it is always advisable to have at least A2 level of German. Some of the universities in Germany, regardless if the program is offered in English language, they would ask a minimum proficiency. Could be A1, could be A2. I always advise my student to have at least A2 level so that their application stands strong vis-a-vis to other candidates. IELTS is required. Yes, sometime no. As I said, as our professor also said, that it is not mandatory. If your first bachelor's degree is in English language, you can also have a chance that your IELTS is waived. Some universities are very strict and they do not waive, they do not even accept your MOIs. They want you to submit a proper IELTS or English language test. So in that case, you need to do this. Aniket is asking, is it important to have a work experience before applying to Aachen University for automobiles? Aniket, please check at the individual website. If they're asking for our work experience, then you must have it at least a year or two. If they're not asking, then I think you can apply directly, not an issue. Most of the master's program in Germany, they do not ask for work experience since they are consecutive masters. Parth, what is the approximate total expenses for an international student? Is it possible for an international student to get a part-time job without fluent German communication skills? Right. So Parth, if you go to a public university in Germany, please budget around 10 lakh rupees as an expense for 1 year of your living expense. Yeah, this would include some semester contribution and your 1 year of living expenses, which is close to 9 lakh rupees. This is for public university. If you go to a private university, this is for public university for 1 year of expense. If you decide not to work and spend entirely 2 years on your own expense, then you should prepare for 20 lakh rupees minimum. If you apply to private university, this 20 lakh becomes 40 lakhs. It just doubles. Yeah, because private universities do have a tuition fees from the range of 20,000 to 25,000 euros for a 2-year master's program. So that's how accordingly your cost increases. Now, regarding a part-time job without fluent German communication skill, there are your academics skill set specific jobs available, where if you speak a German language would be very nice and it is easy for you to get in. And then there are small jobs, we call it student jobs or hi-fi jobs, where if you can speak a German language, you have a good possibility of employment, even in those part-time jobs. Hi-fi jobs are basically student jobs, working for a professor, working in a restaurant, working at a bar. They also, and in these places, they anticipate that international student can speak at least some German language. So here I see the announce. Okay. Karthik, difference between MBA and executive MBA. Karthik, basically, MBA is meant for people who have a couple of years of experience in an industry and now looking for a leg up into senior level positions. And they are ready to leave their job and come for a regular 1-year MBA program. For them, this MBA is suitable. Now, executive MBA is for people who have more than 10 or 15 years of work experience, and they cannot now leave their full-time job. They can only attend part-time, they can only attend in modules, and they can not leave the job while do this MBA. And that is what executive MBA is meant for. You do it over a period of 18 months to 24 months in a gap period of one month or 2 months each, where that's when your classes are conducted either offline or on locations. And then you get at the end you get your executive MBA, and these are for the people who were early starter in their career and never then had a time to go back and do the academia. So they come back and do this executive MBA without leaving their job full time. Joel is asking, is doing part-time job possible along with the masters? If so, can we stand on our own? Joel, you can do part-time along with your masters depending on the workload your master's degree would have. Accordingly, you can spare some time. German government allows you to work 20 hours per week, and you can make approximately 200 to 250 euros per week. And this is a good enough money to stand on your own, provided you tick mark basic German skill sets and other things which might be needed for your part-time job. Farah is asking, sir, if any case we clear the TOEFL or IELTS and not able to go for personal reasons, shall be the exam? So IELTS and TOEFL exams are valid for 2 years. Farah, within this 2-year span, you can apply, but after 2 years, you need to redo this IELTS and TOEFL exam, and then you can apply. A German language certificate from which institute? Shubham, it is advisable that you have a certificate from Goethe Institute, because that is the most recognized by all the universities and also by the embassy in India, German embassy in India. Or you can take a certificate from TESDAF or TELC. These are the German language certificate providers. They do not have presence in India. They do it online. You can take these online certificates as well, but from these institutes, or otherwise, the best is Goethe in India. Parth, EUGateway would provide you the references where you can enroll for German language classes, but we do not run particular German language courses at our center. So MJ, your bachelor's CGPA 7.12, but your master's is to be 8.5. I think MJ, you would qualify for this transportation economics master's program, or any other master's program you would apply. Okay, what would you suggest me to do after completing my diploma in computer science in India, and what are the opportunities in Germany? If you are doing this 3 years diploma right after your 10th, right after your high school, then complete your diploma, and then I think you should complete your bachelor's degree as well from India before coming for master's program in computer science in Germany. The reason being, most of the universities in Germany do not recognize this 3 years diploma program. They either want your 12th school and followed by 1 year of foundation program. If you have a 3 years diploma, there are very handful universities which will recognize it, but they would then also ask you to do this entire program in bachelor's in German language. English taught bachelor's program are very difficult to get into with the diploma, with 3 years diploma from India. Anisha, GRE is not that necessary. GRE is not that necessary. It entirely depends on university and program specific. So first work for you would be to get your university list and then prepare for GRE programs. Okay, and we have announcement of the winners. I don't see more questions here. I think I've addressed most of them. Keep on pouring questions so that I can answer them. In the meantime, I would like to announce the winners for today's contest, and I have received information that Prof George and Mansi Jain are the winner for today's contest. I think they have they are the one who have tagged us and followed us across all the channels. Congratulations to Prof George and Mansi Jain. Please drop in your email to Purav, and you would shortly receive your winning. Yeah, look forward to have one-on-one with you guys. Hanisha, GATE score is not it's not widely accepted. It is okay to have it. Some university would consider, but largely most of them ask for GRE in case your program selection requires GRE. Perfect. Purav, can you once again put in a link for the students who have not yet followed us across the social media? They can do so right now. And yeah, you would also stand a chance to win in one-on-one call directly with me if you follow us and tag us across the social media. So MJ is asking, in the last masterclass, Professor Hirte says that TU Dresden is the only faculty in Germany in transport sciences. I think there is a confusion, MJ. There are 5 faculties in Germany, which means they have 5 different focus areas. Among them, one is transportation and traffic sciences. This transportation and traffic sciences is again a faculty among the larger group of vertical, which has been divided into TU Dresden. There are, I think, 5 different verticals where a lot of programs and departments been clubbed, and among one of these is traffic and transportation sciences as a faculty. Okay, Purav, please share the list of 170 English taught masters program, because our student has been patient enough and they are waiting. Please share the link and the list of this English taught masters program for a student to benefit. And this is just a gratitude from our side to say thank you for all those who stayed till the very end and listened to what we had to present and offer today. MJ, you need to find other universities offering transportation program. I think there are a lot of logistic program being offered by public university, and some would have a relevance in transportation as well. Yes, faculty and department are different because within the faculty, you organize different departments, focus on particular programs. All right, guys, last 5 minutes. Keep your question pouring in. Follow us on across the channel so that you do not miss out on our next webinar, next session. And we encourage you to participate, put in your queries, put in your questions. Let us know what should we present to you next. Let us know what all you would like to learn from Germany, from other European countries, what topics we should bring, which university professors and faculty we should bring to you for your learning and knowledge. It would really be interesting from you to receive our feedback on sessions which we organize and what extra you would like to know and learn from us. We would be very happy to receive that as well. Here is your link. Purav has just put in the link for you guys. You can click on this link and download your guide for English taught master's program in Germany. These are focused TU9 master's program offered in English language. There are other English language programs offered as well, but they are not a part of TU9. There are a lot of local ranks available, Shubham. If you will search CHE ranking, or there are Palm Q's ranking as well for Germany, and Times ranking as well. You have to search online and you would find some public universities are listed across this ranking. So you can also differentiate between national rankings, where you would find which public university ranks better than the other. I think CHE is the one which gives you this in-depth ranking. But then there are international rankings like QS and Times Higher Education or FT rankings, which you will also then find, which would be interesting for you to know. All right, guys, closing time, last 3 minutes. More questions, anything you would like to know, anything you would like to learn about Germany, let me know. The links have already been put there. My contact emails have been put there. I'm looking forward to have one-on-one with all of you who are there, who would like to learn more. Please feel free to get in touch with us, with Purab directly, and we would be very happy to guide you through with the journey for Germany, or for this year, or for next year, or the years to come. Keep in mind, if you are serious about transportation economics master's program, 31st May is the deadline. We are working hard. It's only around 10 or 11 days which is left. Application could still be possible via Uni Assist. Get in touch with us quickly if you are looking to apply. It's only Uni Assist application fee which you got to pay, and some other minimal charges which we have for you to assist with the application. And apart from that, if you qualify, I think this is the best opportunity, because the university stands flexible with respect to 65% or 75% minimum threshold. So you can take an advantage of this, in fact, and can apply for this master's program in transportation economics. Free program at TU9, English taught program. I think you have a great chance to grab this up. Yes, Rajvardhan, we will conduct the bachelor's program session on bachelor's degree program very soon as well. Sure, Farah, we'll get you, just send me an email, Farah. You have my email ID has been put there. Just send me an email regarding the guidance for German language. We would be very happy to let you know where to enroll and how you should start learning German language. All right, guys, we have talked enough on Germany, but feel free to ask anything about European studies, including France, Netherlands, Poland, Spain, Italy, free education, paid education, international education, management education, engineering education, MBBS, non-MBBS. We are covering all these topics for you, and we would be very happy to guide you through for European education. That's number one. But then you can also aim us for Canadian education, Australian education, and US education. We also deal in all these other countries as well, and we would be very happy to help you through with the topics on US, Canada, Australian, Singapore education as well. So the English taught master's program list is for master's program, Shubham. Great. So can we all switch on our camera, please, just to have a last minute photograph with all of you together. It is always nice to have a photograph for the session which we conducted, but we do not want to have the names, but the photograph with the faces. So it would really be very nice for all those who have stayed till the very end to switch on their camera so that a photograph could be taken and we would know that the audience were with us, and it was an exciting evening and learning session. Thank you for switching on your cameras. Purab, can you please do the needful? If you all are there coming with the camera, and then we have our photograph click together. Where everybody is in, can we just say thumbs up like this? And it would be nice. The photograph will be clicked. Just say thumbs up so that we know. Thank you so much for attending. Purab, do the needful and say that the photograph has been done, and it would be wonderful then to post it across our channels. Thank you so much, guys, for attending the session. And we are looking forward for more masterclasses like this. And yeah, looking forward to help you through with the journey.
Okay, the photograph has been
Purab,
taken.
done?
We will shortly post it on all our platforms. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. I take your leave now and wishing you a nice evening, nice week ahead. And do get in touch with us in case you have any more queries and questions where we can help you through. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.